Hello everyone, and here the last part of the Illustrator tutorials for architects. Let's begin. Image trace. With this you can vectorize a raster image like a JPEG or PNG. This type of images always maintain the same pixel resolution. So when you zoom in, you get to see these pixelated edges, like in this example here. Now to vectorize it, go to Object from the top menu and then select Image Trace, or look for it on the Quick Actions panel here on the right side. And you can also open the Image Trace panel, where you will find more options for the output. Then press in Expand and the image will be vectorized. So now if you zoom in, the edges will always be sharp. Let's try it now with this tree and explore some other presets like auto color, high and low color, grayscale, black and white, or the outline preset, from any of which you can make adjustments depending on what you want to get. And here in advanced mode, you will have some more options to choose from, and by adjusting the slider, you can regulate the output. Here I selected the preset black and white and adjusted the threshold to get a less detailed silhouette. Then I expanded and cleaned the result, because when vectorizing you also trace the frames of the images, which actually you don't need them. In this way I made some pictograms and then dragged them manually to my drawing. But you can also save each in separate files and then link them to your drawings. Shape Builder allows you to create and merge shapes out of a line work. This you will find in the vertical tab left, and the icon looks like two circles with an arrow. First you have to select the shapes you want to merge, then pick the Shape Builder, and by holding the left button of the mouse, trace over the areas you want to merge, and then you will get a new shape. But if you want to delete some elements, just press and hold Alt key. Here I got the silhouettes of the buildings, which I placed in a different layer, and then I moved them to the front. Live Paint. Same as with the Shape Builder, first you must select the line work you want to work with. Here I made a copy of all the lines and I saved them in a layer called Live Paint. Then from the top menu I go to Object, then Live Paint, and then Make. So now it's possible to start painting. But first I pick the eyedropper or press the key I, and then I select the color. Then I pick the Live Paint tool, here left, or I press the key K. So now I can start painting the areas by clicking on them. One tip here, I suggest you to create and use a simple color palette from where to pick the colors and hatches you will be using. Afterwards, if you expand the live painting layer, you will see two groups, one for the lines, for the outlines, and one for the painting areas. So now you can turn either of them on or off. But if you pick release, then these fillings, these painted areas will be lost. So be aware of this and don't forget to save your files every once in a while, because you never know, you may be losing hours of work. If you see that there are some gaps in your line work, you can avoid them and still get your areas recognized. Just go to the Object, Live Paint, Gap Options, and then a window will pop up. And here you have to check on the gap detection and set the size of the gaps you want to avoid. Then close the window and the Live Paint over these areas should work now. Patterns. In Illustrator you will find a bunch of patterns to choose from. You find them in the Swatch Library menu here, and you will find also gradients, colors, hatches, and so on. Let's create a new pattern for the facades. First I draw some elements and I select them, then I go to Object, Pattern, and then Make. Now I see a preview of the pattern and some other options that can be adjusted, like the type of grid, the sizes, and so on. To finish, I just click in OK and this pattern will be saved. Now I can select this and apply it using the Live Paint tool or as a normal pattern. And now I'm going to do one more pattern for the grass and apply it to some green areas. Custom brushes. Let's create a brush for adding people. First I will select some silhouettes, then I go to the Brushes panel and I will click a new brush. Then I pick Scatter Brush and a window will open. Now I'm gonna name this brush as People and make some adjustments to the size and spacing. Then I click in OK and the brush will be saved. Very simple. Now I can select the brush and start adding people where I want it. And here a tip, try to keep all the layers always locked and unlocked only the layers you want to work with. This because if you make a mistake that affects everything, then your computer will have too much to process and it may hang, leading you to restart and losing perhaps hours of work. But if you only work with unlocked elements, then you lower the risk that this may happen. So be aware of that. And with this I finished the Illustrator tutorials. I have shown you the most useful tools you will need as an architect in order to improve your style. And remember, the key to maintaining quality is always working with vector graphics. I hope you found this tutorial useful. If so, please like it, share it and subscribe for more. Ciao ciao.